We have had, I don't even know how many years we've talked about this, but we have had an issue with the City of Toronto's public garbage bins. I mean, how many have you walked by over the number of years and the front has been ripped off or they're stuffed so full there's no room. It's not like it's tight. There's no room for you to put anything in those bins. It's been an issue literally for years, and it is an eyesore and it leads to garbage on our streets. And it's just one of those things that you say to yourself, at least I do, if we can't get the basics, like having bins that work for our garbage on our major thoroughfares, then what can we actually do when it comes to City Hall? Well, just when you thought that was a big enough issue, there's another problem with our garbage bins. It's a new issue that's been uncovered by the folks at Integrity TO. Daniel Tate's the executive director of Integrity TO, and he joins me now. Welcome back to the program, Daniel.
Hi, Deb. Thanks for having me.
So tell me, what have you and your team seen that is just the latest in our garbage bin problems?
Yeah, so it looks like all this messaging about the importance of recycling is actually not the case. A couple days ago, I had somebody send me a message over social media. It was a video, and they were documenting the City of Toronto garbage worker coming to one of those outdoor garbage receptacles that has the litter and the recycling in different departments. And he was watching them, and he was recording, and he was shocked to see with his own eyes that the worker emptied the garbage bin directly into the recycle bin and then took all that mixed up refuse and threw it into the garbage truck, into one bin. And that really, shocked the guy who was recording. And when he sent it to me, I was also really surprised because I was always under the impression that we were told that garbage and recycling must always be separate to save the planet. And it looks like that's not the case.
So how widespread is this? I mean, did we just have a garbage collector who was being lazy, or is this actually what's happening on our streets?
Yeah, so I wanted to make sure this wasn't just an outlier or maybe one worker who wasn't following the standard operating procedure. So I did some more diligence. I did a video. I put out a sort of a broadcast to people out there to see if they have more information. And then the videos started piling in. People were like, yeah, this is standard procedure. This is how they do it. People sent me videos from Yonge and Dundas, Bay and College, and I even had people from the inside saying, yeah, I'm a garbage worker, keep me anonymous, but we are told to basically send all downtown garbage, including all the garbage from the parks, whether it's a blue bin or a black bin. It all goes into the same garbage truck and it all goes to the same landfill. So again, this is not a one-off. And then just to further reinforce it, people started emailing the GM of Waste Management, a fellow by the name of Matt Kellyher. He responded to some people and he also said this is the case.
Any rationale why? I mean, it's bad enough that we're just doing it from an environmental perspective, but when you are asking residents to either put in the right little hole from those, 3-hole bins, or, as you said, in the case of parks where there are two clearly different colored bins, same as we have in our on our own properties, like, why would they ask us to do it and then just ignore that?
Yeah, so the only message that I got that sort of justified this new procedure, or I don't know how new it is, they might have been doing it for years under our noses, but that there's too much cross-contamination between recycling and litter. So maybe that's a matter of public education. People just freely toss their garbage into the recycling bin and vice versa. So there's a degree of contamination, which basically makes it impossible, apparently, to send the recyclable materials to whatever recycling depot is out there. It now all goes to landfill. And so why are we still paying fees and taxes and getting messaging from our municipal authorities on how important recycling is if they're not even doing it in practice?
I'm chatting with Daniel Tate. He's the executive director of Integrity TO, a watch group here in the city that looks at all things City Hall and takes note of what's happening out on our streets. So I understand the challenge of cross contamination, and it probably is more prevalent when you're walking down the street and you toss your Tim Hortons cup into the wrong spot because you don't take the time to do it, or you throw your dog poo bag into the wrong spot. So I get it; it's probably more prevalent, but I also have to think there's a ton of people who live in the city who do the same thing. I mean, are we confident that we're actually addressing recycling writ large in our city?
Yeah, my skepticism is really going through the roof now, because if we are being told to recycle at the street level or park level, and we now know it's not happening, then how can we be sure that that is also not the case with residential recycling or condo recycling programs, or even home pickup, right? Like, does it just stop at the parks and the streets because there's so much of this supposed cross-contamination? We know, condos have garbage chutes. So there's all things get mixed up. Even in your garbage room, people put things in the wrong container. So what is going on? I think a lot of people want some clarity from the people, the upper brass at City Hall, to let us know what the story is here.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, let's be clear. I don't think people in Toronto are less capable of doing these things than other communities. And yet I can't imagine that every single municipality that has public garbage bins is just throwing things together, as it appears the city of Toronto is.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, we spend a lot of money on these, supposed recycling programs. We spend a lot of money on education and signage, and we specially fabricate different types of garbage receptacles to have one hole for recycling and one hole for organics and one hole for litter. But again, if you're a garbage worker and you're just dumping it all in the same pile and sending it to the same landfill, then it feels a bit like a betrayal. We're taxpayers. We pay more and more in tax every single year. And now a lot of people are wondering if this recycling program, if we're getting value for our money.
Daniel Tate, Executive Director of Integrity TO, thanks so much for your time and work.
Thank you, Deb.